Welcome to the Injury Law Pod, the podcast that explores and demystifies the complex world of personal injury law. Each week, Missouri personal injury attorney Eric Bartlett dives into the legal issues surrounding personal injury cases to help you understand your rights and options when seeking justice and compensation for personal injuries. So sit back, relax, and let's explore the world of personal injury law together.
Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. And why don't you guys start off by introducing yourselves and what you're a part of at Liberty High School?
I'm Mason Robertson, and I'm a senior class leader.
My name is Ava Glaeser, and I'm the spirit leader at LHS.
And so what does that mean exactly?
For our high school, we have a group that deals with athletics, the athletic department, and we try to have unity within the school, and we promote game day experiences and trying to get a lot of people to those game day atmospheres that some people wouldn't show up to, just so our athletes can have more of a show out and can feel that we're there for them.
Okay. And obviously we're getting ready for the fall sports season. And what all are the fall sports?
So the fall sports at LHS are football, women's tennis, women's golf, or men's, is it
Women's
men's golf?
golf.
Women's golf is in the fall, men's is in the spring. Volleyball, softball,
And then,
men's swim,
and then cross
country, boys and girls.
So let's talk a little bit more detail on the Blue Crew and kind of what it, how do people get involved in that, and then kind of what you all actually do in that role.
Mm-hmm. So basically, anyone from any grade can be in this club. There are just leaders, and there is an application process that you have to go through to be a leader, but this club is open to anyone, and we really try to get a push on underclassmen being in this club because we know that attendance for underclassmen sports is pretty low. And so just being able to get everyone involved in that.
Yeah, and I mean, I know obviously my daughter played volleyball at Liberty, and attendance by students was a hit or miss deal. And I take it obviously football's not an issue. Everybody shows up for football games. What are the sports that you guys think could use more support?
So we have ambassadors for every sport, actually. So for those sports that aren't as covered, like are more women's sports or indoor sports that aren't really in the fall, people kind of start to lose attendance after the start of the school year. So just making sure that everyone is coming to those games that's not really where people normally would go, and just being able to support every team at every level.
And our ambassadors kind of just reach out to those that could be a part of going to those games, and just making sure that those dates that we kind of expect are going to be a lower attending game, we kind of push those out. So a lot of it is women's away games or just stuff like that. We had a women's volleyball game that was in St. Joe, and it was a drive for a lot of us, but Northland Injury Law really helped us out, and they decided to give us a few gift cards, and whoever wanted to attend that game, we gave them an incentive, and you guys paid for their gas money with a Quick Trip gift card, which honestly had a big attendance, surprisingly, and it was a very important game. And I know that our athletic department and everything, and even the girls, really appreciated that. So we kind of just try to push for those low attending games to be more of a hype atmosphere for our athletes so they can feel seen.
And is this ambassador role a new thing?
Yeah.
And it's our leaders. So if you're in the general group, you just help as much as you can, as little as you can. You're involved with the group, you go with meetings and stuff, so it's as much as involved you want to be, or as less, you don't have to be as involved. But when it comes to our leaders, this year we decided to give them specific roles and stuff, so the ambassadors really do help kind of reach out to those people, and they focus on that one sport so they can get the attendance they want for that sport.
Sure. And now is it has it always been where every grade level is represented in the Blue Crew realm?
Yeah, so last year was actually our first year doing Blue Crew Crazies. And so we had a set number of leaders from every grade. And so it was just like allowing us to get a perspective from every grade, from like the freshmen up to the spirit leaders, and what we think we need for the school. And so just seeing like from all 4 grades, like what we think we need from each other and just working together.
Got it. And I didn't realize this was just a new thing as of last year.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know who came up with the idea to have Blue Crew Crazies?
It was Trisha Middleton's idea. She's our assistant athletic director. And so she contacted our spirit leaders from last year and started the club with them.
And has it been before that the spirit leaders have been kind of a informal thing? Like there was, or was this something organized by the school before, as far as spirit leaders are concerned?
I think it formally, like, I think it's been more informal, but now that the spirit leaders are a part of a set club, I think it makes it more formal, and it allows us to be more involved. And I can like work with Stuco, and I can work with other clubs, and so it's not just about our one club, but it allows me to work with the others.
And like our spirit leaders in the past have kind of been like drug thin a little bit because they were the ones like planning everything, making sure, and so like with just in the years past 2 spirit leaders doing all that was kind of hard to get that outreach. So with having this club, we really help our spirit leaders like do what they need as far as like the other leaders or the ambassadors, and just kind of help them as much as they need for that outreach purpose. Because I feel like with this club, the more people getting involved, the more it was like, oh, I'm going to go to the game because the Blue Crew Crazies like are promoting it. They're having incentives and stuff like that. And I think it was just really beneficial starting this group and bringing on more leaders this year.
And it always seems like, I mean, obviously, the more people you have involved, the more help you have in getting others motivated to come to games and things like that.
And we've had a really good like perspective on everything, and a very good like outtake of it all. Like starting last year as a group, this club, no one really expected how big it was going to be, how small it was going to be, how much we needed to try to bring people on. But a lot of our athletes really like pushed for it, and we had, how much was over 100 and something like general group members. So as a first year club, that was crazy to like see that many people can come on and like help our mission to what we want to do for those athletes. And even more people are coming on this year, and the applications were just flowing with who wants to be a leader and stuff. So
yeah, that's cool. And obviously my youngest daughter, who's going to be a freshman, Josie is going to be, she's a leader, right?
Yes.
for her class.
Freshman class leader.
Unfortunately, due to prior obligations, she couldn't make this video. I know. But I know, so each class level has a leader. And then there was, like you said, an application process. And then to be a leader, I'm assuming there was a bigger vetting process to figure out who the leaders are going to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was really cool this year because I think as like those incoming freshmen coming from 2 different middle schools, it's like hard to like, oh, do you know what Blue Crew Crazies is? Because they're not involved in our school. So this year we decided, or this last year, we decided to go to have like assemblies at each middle school and kind of show them what Blue Crew Crazies is all about. And then from there, they applied, and which was really awesome.
Start getting the word out earlier.
Yes.
Yep. And then you guys have already, I mean, you know, before school started, you guys have had some meetings and things already, planning sessions. Is that right?
Yeah. So basically all of our leaders from last year had the option to stay and continue into this year. And so basically all we needed was to just get our 8th graders from the middle schools up to the high school. And so we really got that group going early in June and got it like getting to plan the things for August and September, like our big events, really early in the school year. And so just being able to get that group together over the summer has been really helpful. Like we have 60 leaders this year compared to our 16 of last year.
Wow.
So we expanded a lot, and we gained over 100 general members. So growing a lot this year. And so just, you know.
So what are some of the things on tap for this, for the fall sports and, you know, events and trying to get people excited?
So some of our big events that we have planned, we have a jamboree this Friday at home, blackout.
So is this the first like home football game, or what is this?
Our first official game is the Friday after this one.
Okay.
And then we don't have a home game until September 6th against North.
Okay.
So it'll be a big first home game.
So this is just kind of a football game, like exhibition.
It's a few schools, you know, just coming to, it's at home this year.
Okay.
So we haven't had that before.
Okay.
So having it at home, we expect a lot of people to be there.
Okay.
So,
and so sorry, I kind of interrupted, but yeah, so that's like you got something planned for this.
Yeah.
To kind of get people started in the motivation.
Yeah. We already had something last week, and so things are really getting started, even though school hasn't quite started yet. So just being able to prepare for stuff before school starts really helps.
Got it. What else are you all thinking about as you go through the semester for games?
So for fall sports, a lot of our big games are going to be against North, obviously, because they're our rivals. And we actually play like 3 games against North within 2 weeks. So it's going to be a big 2 weeks for Liberty. We play them in volleyball, softball, and football within 2 weeks. So
oh, wow.
It's going to be a crazy span.
So are you doing something for each of those games, like a theme?
We have a theme for every single game.
Oh.
And so we try to do something. We try to do themes that are a little easier for away games. Because we expect like not as many people to be there, and so we try to do like a lot of the fun themes or ones that people want to see when we're at home. And so just being able to plan like what themes people want, what incentives we want to add for every game, because we really want to like reward the people who come to these games, especially the ones that aren't normally attended.
And I do remember like sometimes they would buy pizza for students and stuff.
We did that a lot for wrestling this year. Like if you went into, because wrestling duels are super long and like they last all night, and so if you come into the student section watching our wrestlers, they would get us pizza, and just so we can just watch them do their thing. And like this last Friday we had our scrimmage, which sometimes it doesn't always have the biggest turnout because it's a scrimmage against literally our teams, but we had a powder puff this year, first year, and so the girls got to play flag football, and that was like the incentive at the end of the game. So everyone stayed and watched that. It was super cool.
Oh, yeah, that sounds fun. Well, and again, you can pass the word along. You know, we're always happy to contribute if they're looking for funds to help with incentives, for sure. Because I know that, you know, like you say, if you offer up pizza, you offer up some QT cards, that gets people motivated usually. You know, students anyway. So for sure. Okay, well, so it sounds like you guys have a lot of people on board at the moment. And it sounds like you're putting plans in place to get people to games. What did it look like creating the Blue Crew Crazies, and what kind of work went into just that part of it?
So last year, whoever wanted to be a leader applied. And then once we got those leader roles, we sat down and we created a list of bylaws. And the bylaws are supposed to stay through years to come. And so this year's new leaders had to sign a paper with all last year's bylaws. And so being involved with not even just as leaders, but as Blue Crew Crazies, we set these bylaws so when you go to certain games, certain events, you can earn a certain amount of points each time. And then at the end of your 4 years, or even at the end of each year you do it, you can earn a patch, a pin, and a cord for graduation. So,
oh, wow.
Those incentives are really cool, and then it looks really good on resumes and stuff like that.
Right. And do you also agree to like maintain certain standards at games and not be a fool and things like that?
For sure.
Yeah, code of conduct.
And like the leaders, we have to set expectations for the student body, let alone the other general members. And everyone does a very good job of keeping a good leadership role and showing good examples at our games.
Yeah, got it. And so you talked about how you can earn these points and that may lead to certain things. And so what do you think about when you guys, both of you are seniors, you're going to be heading off to college? I mean, how do you think this will affect that part of your life when you're applying to colleges, maybe fraternities, sororities, things
Yeah.
like that?
This role that I've been given, especially this year as spirit leader, has opened up a lot of opportunities for me to meet new people, and it's just given me an experience to like learn how to be a leader, I guess, and learn how to talk in front of an audience and do stuff like that to prepare me for college and like the rest of my life, basically. And so I plan on rushing and going into the sorority, like just knowing that like I already have these communication skills and I have these leadership skills to be able to be comfortable in a new situation. So
Yeah, no, that's awesome. What about you, Mason?
I really think that being involved, I mean, even from the start, just like it'll look good on my college applications, scholarships, just anything I want to be involved in college. Like, she's right. It does teach us all how to like speak in front of 1,800 kids. Like, it's just like a really good like club that we have, and like the leaders, you have to plan to talk in front of people, and each leader gets to have to like run one of the events. So it really helps you like grow up and like teach you how to do like these skills that you're going to need when you're older. So I really think it'll be beneficial for me in college, meeting new people, especially if I want to go far, like having that outgoing personality that Blue Crew Crazies has kind of like helped me adapt. I think it'll really help me in college.
Yeah, well, I think you're right on track with those thoughts, because any of these extracurricular type activities, I guess this is considered extracurricular, I don't know. But either way, you're involved in an organization, you're help leading an organization, you're help leading people. Like you said, you're getting public speaking exposure. None of that hurts you going forward, whether not only college, but just as you go into someday looking for the jobs and in your job and all that stuff. So
Sure.
I think you're getting really valuable experience. And I think you're really helping to support sports, because again, it's hard to get students motivated to get to those games. And again, as an athlete, that's the perspective I know as my daughter, obviously when you have that crowd of your peer students there, it just helps pump you up and possibly play better, play harder.
For sure.
So yeah, well, listen, good luck to all the fall sports this season, and good luck to you guys. And again, Northland Injury Law, make sure Trish knows that we're happy to help out where we can. And thanks for coming and sitting down with me for a few minutes.
Thanks for having us.
thank you.
Of course.